Dudes, give me a take. Give me somebody who's a lock, somebody who's maybe outside the top 10, who's a lock to be a star.
Well, he may go in the top 10.
Yeah, give me first defensive player.
Well, depending on positional value, right? And it's Byron Murphy. So it's funny that we were just talking about him. I think he's going to be a surefire star. To me, he's the best defensive prospect in this draft class. When you talk about first step explosiveness, you talk about playing with great leverage, lateral quickness. And Brady, you know this as a quarterback. Quarterbacks hate interior pass rush. And that's what Byron Murphy gives you. And he's just relentless. I mean, when you turn on the film, this dude just never stops. So I honestly think, we were talking about Atlanta at 8. Could they take an edge rusher, potentially trade back? I wouldn't even be mad if they took Byron Murphy because I think he's a top 10 player in this draft.
Grady Jarrett's getting up there too. I mean,
yeah. I could definitely see that. I mean, we always talk about like scarcity too when it comes to some of the top talented positions. If they take Byron Murphy over some of these other positions, it's not that they feel like they're always necessarily a better overall prospect or have a better draft prospect grade. It might be a greater need / the difference between Byron Murphy and the next D tackle might be so great that when you got the chance to take him, you got to take him.
Correct.
There might be some thinking like that. I really like Kool-Aid McKinstry. I think he's just a solid player. I don't know where he's going to go in the first round. I do think he's a first round talent. I'd be surprised if he went outside of that. But I think you look at his coverage skills. I think you look at his overall, style of play, the coaching, playing under Nick Saban at Alabama. He'll be very well prepared for the next level. And I have a hard time believing he's not going to be inserted as a day one starter and just solid for the entirety of his career. So Kool-Aid McKinstry is I'm not saying getting lost in the shuffle of the Terrion Arnold, who I think gets a little more love from the same team, obviously, and Nate Wiggins, some of the others that we talk about, Quinyon Mitchell, because he's a smaller school guy, not known as well. Everyone loves to pump him up. I think Kool-Aid McKinstry is a guy that I'd love to have on my team. I think he's a heck of a player.
I think you do a poor job of pronouncing Kool-Aid. It doesn't sound like as he pops.
It doesn't sound like Kool-Aid.
How do you want to say it? Do you want? Hey, let me try to stand it like this. Oh yeah!
If he doesn't have,
he busts through the door.
Doesn't he have to have on the inner lining of his suit like the Kool-Aid man?
No! Yeah!
I don't even think he's going to Detroit. Go ahead, Brent.
Oh no, go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, I don't think he's going to Detroit, but I just wanted to piggyback off of the same position. My favorite player in this draft is Ennis Rakestraw. I just love the mentality that he plays with. It's rare, Brady, that you find a cornerback be a tone setter on defense, but that's exactly what he is. I mean, he shows up in run support, and he doesn't have the production when it comes to interceptions, but he uses that physical and aggressive mentality when attacking the ball in the air as far as PBU. So I think he's going to be able to be a starter day one in the slot. I have him as a first-round pick. Some people don't. It just depends on some of those teams in the back half of the draft, where you look at the Green Bay Packers, the Philadelphia Eagles. Could those teams take a flyer on him at the back of the first round?
I dig it. What about the Washington guys, Brady? How are you? Where are you? I mean, where are you at on Michael Penix? I think it's fascinating, like Penix and Bo Nix. Specifically, and even like Jaden Daniels to a degree, because he transferred from Arizona State where he wasn't very good, probably because Arizona State's a trash school. No offense, Pete. Actually, I'm just kidding. Total offense. But Michael Penix Jr. has attempted 1,685 passes in college.
Crazy.
That is a wild number. I think this COVID bell curve stuff and how we're sort of just seeing the tail end of these guys who are 25 coming out of the draft is just really fascinating to see.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating to see, just how that translates onto the field immediately as a rookie. You're more mature. A lot of these young men have lived through the era now where they've been, in essence, a professional football player, right? They're getting compensated at the college level. And with that comes responsibilities. It comes all the things that back for us when we were leaving college and getting into the NFL, yes, you were leaving behind your academic schedule and the time management that you had in your life with that, but then you had all these other responsibilities with sponsors and marketing, everything else that comes along. These guys are prepared for that. They've been through that now for a number of years.